So since Donald Trump loves Zohran Mamdani, and everybody said Trump was gonna own Zohran, and now they can't say that anymore, I imagine Fox News is gonna play it off. So the title is "A Communist and a Dictator Walk into a Bar." They'll probably play it off like, oh, people say crazy things in the media. Trump and Mamdani are related because everybody says crazy things. You know, call Trump a fascist, call Mamdani a communist. It's all good fun. They're probably gonna try to walk it off now, or play it
and
off.
A dictator walk into a bar.
I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries. Nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group.
So Trump loves Mamdani, how powerful he sounds on the microphone. He looks like a star. He's trained on camera. He's another showman, kind of like Trump, but I mean, I like it a lot better than Trump's showmanship, quote unquote showmanship. But Trump also respects how big of a crowd Mamdani can garner, how big of a crowd he can get. That's why Trump also respected Bernie Sanders too.
For some reason, the press has found
That's
this
power
to be a
to
very
Trump.
interesting meeting. The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares. But
he loves
they
attention.
They did care about this meeting.
The press was foaming at the mouth. They thought it'd be the biggest brawl since Zelensky.
Just days ago, you referred to President Trump as a despot who betrayed the country. You said you'd be his worst nightmare and accused him of having a fascist agenda.
Trump thinks it's just trash talk. He thinks it's a game. You want to retract calling Trump a dictator?
We are very clear about our positions and our views, and what I really appreciate about the president is that the meeting that we had focused not on places of disagreement, which there are many, and also focused on the shared purpose that we have in serving New Yorkers.
And I've been called much worse than a despot, so it's not that insulting.
Well, let's
he
try
kept on
that
covering
again.
for Mamdani. He kept helping him.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
You could just say yes.
It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
The name calling, that's politics. Trump's been giving it and taking it his whole career.
They're playing it
This
off.
sends a signal to Democrats.
Okay, bro. Come on.
It's politics. Trump's been giving it and taking it his whole career.
Oh, Trump's been giving it and taking it his whole career.
This sends a signal to Democrats that Trump's really about business. And if he really was a dictator, would you let some guy come into your house and call you that? No.
Oh, okay.
And did Mamdani go in there and hide his face like Big Gretch? No. Zohran's mayor, Trump's president, so let's get down to it.
I think you're going to have, hopefully, a really great mayor. The better he does, the happier I am. I expect to be helping him, not hurting him. A big help, because I want New York City to be great.
Ooh, Trump got a 35% approval poll. 35% approval, 62% disapproval.
Trump and Zohran want the same thing
tough.
for the city. They both want it to be safe and affordable. They might not always agree on how to get there, but instead of bickering, they've found common ground.
He wants to see a lot of houses created, a lot of apartments built, etc. And, you know, we actually, people would be shocked, but I want to see the same thing.
Not just housing. Trump wants to rein in the electric company and help Mamdani fight crime. Trump says we're not going to throw good money after bad. He's not going to be sending money for government-run grocery stores. We're talking common sense stuff that helps the middle class. Some of their playbooks overlap.
I spoke to New Yorkers who had voted for the president last November. I heard again and again two major reasons. One was that they wanted an end to forever wars. They wanted an end to
Thank you for $2 super
taxpayer
chat.
dollars we had funding violations of human rights, and they wanted to address the cost of living crisis.
A lot of my voters actually voted for him, and I'm okay with that.
Trump looks at Zohran like young Bernie, political outsiders who have some wacky ideas but have compassion for the working man and a lot of love from their base. Some Bernie bros voted for Trump, the same way some MAGA folks in Queens voted for Zohran.
Jesse Water, he talks to his audience like they're 5 years old and he's telling a bedtime story every time. Or like he's trying to explain like the birds and the bees to a kid. Like, oh, well, this happens. And then, well, I mean, you know, mommy and daddy loved each other very much. Then they came together and boop, there you came. It's just like the way he talks is so infantilizing because he knows his audience. But it's the same tone all the time. Like, oh, here's a story about how this works, guys.
They have different policies with the same goals, making life more affordable for the average Joe. The difference between Zohran and Bernie, Mamdani beat the odds and the establishment.
I think he's different. All right, I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, you know, your typical guy runs, wins, becomes mayor.
Love him or hate him, Zohran's fresh. and Trump likes to get his hands on new brands.
Come on, dude. Again, they said Trump has been given it and taken it his whole career. Now they're saying Trump likes it fresh.
He can work with anyone, Jews, Muslims, communists, little rocket man. The New York relationship is based on action and results, not labels and insults. Zohran might be a communist today, but tomorrow, who knows?
They were calling Zohran a radical jihadist who's going to blow up New York City and do another 9/11. And now he's like, I mean, we're all going to get along. It's not about partisanship. It's about doing things, the good things, bipartisan things.
He's going to
Both
change
parties
also.
working
We all
together
change.
for the working class, middle class.
From when I first came to office, I feel very confident that
we can all
do a very
change,
good
guys.
job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people.
Mamdani might come to realize some of his ideas don't work. I mean, he really never had a real job before. He's a little immature, but with Trump's help, Mamdani can help New York. And if he screws it up, that's on him. It kind of seemed like Trump knew Mamdani said a lot of things to get elected and now knows he has to govern and might have it in him.
Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
Bro, you just got to be nice to Trump, compliment him, make him feel special, buy him some chocolates, sweet talk him, flirt with him. Trump will love you. Like, it's so crazy, dude. Oh, he's such a beta. He's such a beta. This is why he thinks Putin is his brother. He thinks Putin is his boyfriend. Pookie Bear Putin is Donald Trump's boyfriend. He thinks that's actually a thing. It's so easy to manipulate this guy. It's actually he's the king of the losers. He's the king of the betas. He's King Beta.
Giving the new mayor a fresh start and the benefit of the doubt. Whatever happens, you can't say Trump didn't try. This was great to see for the country. If Trump and Zohran can get along, we all can. Mamdani came across as gracious and respectful, but he still stood his ground. Why is that so hard for most Democrats to do? Mamdani acted like more of a man, more of a problem solver than Schumer, who's 3 times his age.
I mean, true. Mamdani's a very skilled politician. And the appearance of strength, although they lack it completely, is the Republican. Like, that's how they win everything. That's how Trump wins his entire life. I'll call you back really quick. A number called me. They called me. They want to talk.
Hello?
Hello? Hi, this is the
Are
YouTube
you on the live
thing.
stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, I called in.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you debate people on politics?
Sometimes.
Is that what the number's for?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
Are you, how old are you?
18.
How old?
18.
18. What's your
Yes.
political question?
I'm a Republican. I just wanted to see why you are a Democrat.
Because the really powerful people in society have too much power, and if too few people have too much money and power, that's dangerous because they get too powerful and they can take away my freedom. So I want to be able to tax them and billionaires more taxes to help fund programs that can help every single American to make America great. And Republicans lower taxes on the wealthy. They spend money on their rich friends, and they spend money on a bunch of wars instead of helping the American people. So I'd prefer to vote for a party that does. They're not perfect. Neither party's perfect. But raising taxes on the wealthy, holding companies accountable, and having rights that companies cannot take away from us is a big deal to me. So I'm gonna always side more with Democrats on that issue.
I agree with what you're saying, and I don't necessarily like the way that Republicans go about it. And I think I'm more conservative than a Republican.
Okay.
But I don't like the way. I think Republicans should do what's best for the people. I just don't align with the policies for Democrats. I just more align with the policies that Republicans do, but I don't like the way they go about things, their outlook on things.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the policy. I mean, I've seen better results from Democrats. It's hard to have it's hard to see everything that happens in the world, but your approach to policy matters a lot because if you say things that sound popular, but you never do any work, you never make real policies that help people, you're not doing anything for anybody. So Republicans are really good at talking in a way that sounds convincing, but they never do actual work. They never pass laws. When it comes to all the programs Americans love, whether it's the VA or Social Security or Medicare, all those programs were made by liberals and Democrats. There's nothing in America that people say is a good thing from the government that comes from a conservative. There's nothing. The old Republicans used to be in favor of taxing the wealthy. We used to have Republicans like Eisenhower and Teddy Roosevelt, who would be against big companies having too much power, and they'd have more nuanced views. But nowadays, it completely changed.
I agree with you. I do more side with old school Republicans. Actually, today in my high school, we had a fair, a career fair with political things, and I want to go into politics, but I don't feel like as a Republican I'd be accepted in the party without aligning with everything they do.
Well, young Republicans have an issue with women having power and having leadership positions, and different people from
Yeah,
different backgrounds, and so it's very difficult. I mean, even with Kamala Harris, I went. Some people did not like Biden and did not like Kamala that I knew personally. I'm from a very red area, but the thing is, they said with Biden they had disagreements. You know, if Biden's president, that's fine. They can disagree, and that's okay. But the moment Kamala became the nominee, the first thing I heard was, well, she slept her way to the top. She's a dumb whore who did nothing in her life except sleep with people, and she's stupid, and her laugh is too high pitched. And every woman, even women that are that Republicans like, um, they still get the same criticisms. If you think about like Christy Noem or what's Nikki Haley. They all get the same criticisms.
Christy Noem and Nikki Haley and Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I mean even Pam Bondi. I mean I cannot stand Pam Bondi, but she gets more attacks towards her than like Kash Patel does. And you know it's I think it largely is because she's like the woman scapegoat in the administration. So yeah, it is difficult. And young Republicans are also kind of like they're mad women have power in society now. Now they make jokes all the time about women not being able to vote anymore. So yeah, that's been a issue. I talked to a lot of. I mean, I'm 25. I talked to every pretty much like 18 to 35 years old for like voting age about this stuff, and there's certain trends on each political side, and that's definitely something we're seeing, especially on the internet.
How did you feel about the government shutdown?
I so like right now, Trump does something where if Congress approves money for something, he just kind of does not spend it illegally. So I thought there should have been a shutdown for some type of coming to the table. So Trump would actually spend money as laws say he should. And also, um, in a functioning system of government, you need to have two sides that'll negotiate. And Republicans in the last budget and this budget, they refused to negotiate on any points. They would not negotiate whatsoever on any point. And this time, all Democrats wanted was a vote on subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. They just wanted a vote. They just wanted to have a debate. But Trump and Mike Johnson and all these people, they refused to meet with Democrats to even debate a new budget. And in my opinion, Republicans could have gotten rid of the filibuster and passed the budget on their own. But if one side in the political system, especially when Republicans control they control the House, the Senate, they control the presidency, they even control the Supreme Court, although that does not matter for the budget necessarily. You need to have them come to the table. And for Democrats, I would not have voted for. I would have kept the government shut down until they actually came to the table, in my opinion.
Can I tell you my opinion on it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I believe. Okay, weren't the Democrats asking for like $1 trillion to keep the government like open and like for their fundings and stuff?
So the claim was that the White House said and Republicans said was that Democrats wanted $1 trillion to give illegal aliens free healthcare, which was not in the bill whatsoever. That is not in the law. If you're not legally in America, because you could be a green card holder or a naturalized American citizen or a naturally born American citizen, and you can get Affordable Care Act subsidies, but any non-citizen who's not legally here cannot get the Affordable Care Act subsidies. So when Republicans said that Democrats, and it's literally written plainly in the law. When they said Democrats wanted $1 trillion for illegal healthcare, illegal alien healthcare, that just was not true in the law. I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that is what I'm talking about. And I still live with my parents. Obviously, I'm in high school, and they are very red. They're very Republican. My dad thinks women shouldn't vote.
Okay, well, there you go. That's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. So I don't agree with most Republicans on things because wait, let me get back on track before I say that. So what I heard and what I know about it is that Chuck Schumer and was kind of holding out because since Chuck Schumer is the older gentleman, he's the head of the minority.
Yeah, in the Senate, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like he was just holding out so long, so AOC didn't want to replace him. I think Ocasio-Cortez. I can't really pronounce her name. I'm white and from the South. So
yeah, it's okay. AOC's fine. And when she runs for president, you'll be able to learn it. I mean, Chuck Schumer's probably gone no matter what, to be honest. Even if AOC doesn't run against him, he's very unpopular. So the Democratic base did want Democrats to shut the government down. That is true because they want Democrats to fight like Republicans fight because Republicans will do anything at any time. They'll violate norms. It doesn't really matter. Like Trump pardoned the January 6th terrorist who beat up all the cops. Like he does not care. And a lot of those January 6ers went out to assault children after, and they just don't care. And Democrats are unwilling to even Democrats are unwilling to fight and even like breaking norms at all. So Democratic voters said to Chuck Schumer, like, hey, if you don't push for some type of fighting against Trump, we want you out as soon as possible and not in leadership. So yeah, definitely Democrats wanted Democrat politicians felt pressured by their voters to do something.
Yeah, I really believe that if Republicans weren't so, I don't think either party should be so radical because you need to have a middle ground because when the government is shut down like that, like things like FEMA, when there are natural disasters can't run. Like they run and they have their emergency money, but it gets to a point where emergency money runs out. You know, like with the SNAP benefits.
Yeah, I mean, but the SNAP benefits, we had money set aside to do that, to give out SNAP benefits, and Trump had that money, and Trump decided on his own to not distribute that money, and the court said he needed to, and then he fought the courts saying he does not want to disperse the money. He called an emergency to say that we cannot distribute the funds that we have on hand, and they lied about Democrats being the ones that were cutting SNAP. So like, the Trump admin wanted to not do SNAP even though they had the money for it.
My parents are really big on Fox News, and I agree with their politics. I just think that they market themselves as news, but I think they're more like an opinion show more than a.
It's like TMZ, like a celebrity show, like a reality television, something that's more for entertainment. Yeah.
I do feel like they provide news, and I do use Fox News for some of my things, but I obviously do get it from other websites and stuff. I've just grown up around Fox News. So, like, I've been around it since I was, like, around 6. And at 6, I could probably name every host, you know? And I only watch, like, a few shows on there now. And it's a comedy. So it doesn't really have to do anything about politics. I think with the government shutdown, I feel like that both parties could have been so much more flexible, and I think they just need to stop being so radical on each side because after this might trigger some people about Charlie Kirk, but after Charlie Kirk was shot, the Republican movement really got very radical,
Yeah, I mean they've
and
been for a while.
I just really think, and especially after Trump won, and I do support Trump, but I also think that he twists some things, but there wasn't any other Republican candidate that was
Yeah, I get
won the
that. It's
primary.
really hard because the way we're socialized, politics becomes a game of like you're on this side or that side, you're on this team or that team, and if your family's Republican, you might feel pressured to vote that way, or you might think it's the right direction, but we have two parties, so you need to vote for Trump, because you don't like Democrats, and Democrats are on the other team. I would like to believe if there was a comparable Democrat to Trump that I'd vote for a Republican if I needed to. I have voted Republican for local races. But there are certain issues that are just lies, that are complete lies in politics. So some things I'd recommend looking up that kind of destroy certain narratives is just so like the national debt, for example, it ballooned the first time under Ronald Reagan when Reagan did his tax cuts. It tripled under Reagan. And then Bill Clinton after Reagan and Bush in the 80s, Bill Clinton ran a budget surplus where the debt actually decreased. And then George Bush took over, George W. Bush took over in 2000. And you'll find that the national debt again exploded because of our wars, and also Bush did huge tax cuts. Then under Barack Obama, the debt came down, and then under Trump again, the debt skyrocketed, and then under Biden, the debt stabilized and started going down, and now again under Trump, it's skyrocketing again. So we have this idea that Republicans have the reputation of being deficit hawks, but in reality, throughout all of American history, almost at least modern past 50 years. Democrats have consistently been much better on not only the deficit, but if you look these numbers up as well, for every single job, for every one job Republican presidents have created under their presidencies, Democrats have created 40. So the number is 40 Democratic jobs to one Republican jobs, and you can verify all this at a different time. I don't need you to accept it right now. But I grew up in a conservative area with Republican family members, and once I started seeing stats like that and looking into it, there's a reason why they want you to focus on gay marriage or transports or immigrants. They don't want you to look up those economic numbers because people really get screwed economically from Republicans because they just give money to ultra wealthy. But in reality, they're really bad for the working people. But again, we have social issues we disagree on. So people like Trump focused on that. Like they're transing everyone. So you don't look at those numbers. So if you ever look up those numbers and have a chance to look them over and have a chance to call in again, I definitely would be excited to see your takeaway from it.
Oh yeah. Also, when I tell like people that I know that I'm like technically a Republican but don't agree with everything, but then I tell them that I'm not, like, then they assume that I'm like a Christian homophobe. I'm not even Christian or homophobic. I'm literally gay. So I really think in the
A gay
Republican
female
Party.
Republican is gonna be tough. I don't know how long you're gonna last. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I don't know. I really think in the Republican Party that a good gay female woman, well, I just think it would be a very good understanding that, because there is one woman that works for Trump. She's with the Treasury, or I don't know exactly what she does, but she's a gay woman, and Trump hired her. So I think most Republicans in the South are they're very homophobic. My parents, when I told them I was gay, they say slurs. So, but I just really think that Republicans need to be more open-minded and not so radical. And there's been like a sense of not nationalism, because that's the entire country, but I feel like in the Republican Party there's just been a sense of ego. But I don't think they especially are going to be as strong after Trump gets out in 2028. And I'm not one of those Republicans who thinks that Trump needs to go in a third term because, one, that's illegal. It's only okay to do that if you're in a war and you can't possibly hold a whole ass election. And it's unconstitutional. And when JD or Marco Rubio are appointed as that, well, they can't be appointed. They have to run through the primary. But I want to be a constitutional lawyer. So, I don't think that the Republicans will be as strong as they are now. And I think that once we get a new generation of Republicans in there that are not as radical and just very
It's gonna be
progressive,
tough.
I would say.
Gonna be tough.
Yeah,
The Republicans
it's
coming
gonna
up
be
are not
very
much.
tough.
They're probably worse on issues like gay marriage, to be honest, than the last generation. It's gonna be really difficult. Trump's approval rating right now is like 35%, which is like one of the lowest of all time. So Trump is pretty weak and kind of falling apart. I don't know if you saw Marjorie Taylor Greene's resigning. She just announced she's actually leaving Congress January 5th of next year, which is in like 2 months, which is really crazy. So the party is kind of falling apart a little bit. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's going to be happening, and I'll give you a final word here. I appreciate the call. But yeah, definitely feel free to watch my stream. Feel free to call in again sometime. It's not a guarantee I'll get to the phones, and I have a few people calling in at the same time, so it's not a guarantee that you'll be able to get in every time we do this. But if you have Discord, we have a Discord as well in my descriptions, or if you message in the chat, one of my mods will give you a link to it if you want to, bounce your ideas off anybody in there. But yeah, I'll give you a final word on this. I appreciate the call.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you want to end on?
No, sir.
All right, awesome. Well, best of luck. It can, politics is not fun. So yeah, definitely stay safe out there. And yeah, thank you again for the call. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, see you. I mean, they said they're 18 and in high school, which is kind of believable. With they're pretty well informed. If they know they want to be a constitutional lawyer. Let's see, because I did ask, because I thought it was a young boy at first. Because there's a lot of Fortnite kids that call in to try and troll the stream. A lot of Fortnite kids. I'm scared to even say the word Fortnite kid because I feel like they're gonna be on here. Like, can you do 6'7"? Do you have 67 likes yet? Can you do 6'7"? 6'7"? Can you do 6'7"? It's not good, dude. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe.